Alrighty, hello there, everybody. We're live here with some of the ladies: Jane Sharp, Sharon Sunshine, Linda K. Listening. We're having a little chat today, just talking about stuff. We have a few things that we plan to talk about. We may get a little free form with it and take some questions or do whatever here. So we'll see. But we're gonna just be talking about Stephen and Brendan today and wrongful convictions and ways of getting attention, which I think is what we'll be ending up with when we're talking about Linda at the end. But, hi, guys, first of all. It's good to have you here.
Good evening.
Nice to be here.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Everybody out there in the chat, feel free to
give us a wave.
Look at the banner there down at the bottom and do your thing, of course. So, no.
Oh, I didn't read the first part. I like it.
Yeah.
If you're outraged at what Brendan has endured, comment.
Comment in the chat.
Hashtag I stand with Brendan Dassey or hashtag positively Brendan in the live chat.
Yep. There you go, folks. And it's like
hi, Jinx, Dark Side of the Moon, Stoppercut. Nothing but a stomp.
Nothing but a stomp. Nothing but a stomp. Just talking about you.
There we go. Thank you, Super Mario Maker 2 Glitch Hunters. I love it.
I stand with Brendan Dassey.
So yeah, we're gonna be talking about Brendan a bit today and stuff like that. So, mainly, we're, I've been thinking about, recently, like the transformation, and here I am speaking with you guys. It's funny because Sharon and Jane are obviously just getting started, getting their own YouTube channels up and kind of coming into their own, getting comfortable on camera. Particularly Jane, you folks, checking her out on TikTok recently.
Anyway, Jane, TikTok.
I'm glad you fall in love with TikTok.
What's some of the raindrops, Jane? It was some of the raindrops.
That was hard. It was really hard. And if anyone's got kids who have got TikTok or is on TikTok themselves, they will know some of these things. They might look easy, but they're really hard. And all
are they challenges?
Yeah, it's like a hashtag. They do like the same on Twitter. It's like a hashtag.
Okay, because I don't know how it works.
Yeah, so that one was hashtag raindrop challenge. But there's so many different challenges. There's the hand gesture emoji one, and there's certain ones of them I can't do for love nor money. You do all the.
It's like everybody does the same thing. They'll look a whole load of people, maybe like thousands of folk will do the one type of dance, the same song, and it's like to see who's better in the hashtag and all that. Is that right, Jane?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
And
try to paraphrase it for you.
Lip syncing as well.
Yeah. Right. And reactions to the other ones as well. There's other. Yeah.
So when Paul finally gets me my instrumental for "Come With Me Now" and I get my parody, I might have to take one verse and I might have to start a TikTok account.
Yeah, do it.
Well, we Scottish lasses got a TikTok. She does have
I just did it.
She was trying I think that may be part of why the honeymoon is over between me and her, because she was talking so much about TikTok and I was like, I can't do it. I can't do another app. I just
want to see you dancing in the studio with your fly swat.
Anyways.
Well, you were really good on the Truth Train one.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. With Stacey.
Actually, that's a good idea. Go on TikTok and do your singing for Brendan.
Yeah. Anyway, I have an entire parody worked up for "Come With Me Now" by the Congos. All the lyrics. I've already made a version of it, but it's not. I couldn't get it. I didn't have a version without the lyrics from them. I needed the music alone so that I could put my alternate lyrics over it. I am waiting for Paul. He's working on it. I am waiting for him to get me the finished version of that so that I can then make it. And then when I do, I'll take probably the first verse, because TikTok's typically 30 seconds, 45 seconds, videos, right? Very short, right? So I'd have to take like a verse, and then I could probably upload it with a little bit of video or something.
I think you can do anything from between like 15 seconds to about 60 seconds. Yeah. So
right.
But then there's a mandatory tutu wearing. You have to wear a tutu, don't you, Jane, for any songs that you want? And leg warmers. It's very important. You can't go on unless
Well, he's got what is that? You know, that Scotland dress, or what is that thing called? A kilt.
Kilt,
You
yeah.
can wear that. That's a man's tutu.
Hey, Paul, if Paul sends me a sporran, I'll be wearing mine again. So
Isn't it funny that Paul doesn't have one? He says he doesn't have one.
Mm.
I mean, and he's Scottish. I mean, an American has one?
My husband's
what can I say?
Neil's got two.
You know, I'll tell you, I got to get out of this place, man. I'm going to be starting to wear one.
Yeah. Did your husband? Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, did your husband wear a kilt when you got married, Sharon?
No, he didn't actually wear a kilt when we got married. But he's worn it loads of times since then.
Yeah.
Which is uncommon for a Glasgow wedding, because there's always some shirtless guy.
Yeah.
Kilt, right?
Yeah, usually, yeah. But he didn't have a kilt at the time when we get married because it was so long ago.
All right. So as I was saying,
24 years. 24 years we've been married.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
In July it'll be so, but no, we didn't have a kilt then. We didn't have one.
I like Neil. Neil's a good guy, so
great. Check out his web or his YouTube. He's got beautiful
photographs. Oh, I know.
My granddaughter loves them.
Did you see? Did you
look at the castle?
Yeah.
So the reason why I was bringing up the fact that Sharon and Jane obviously are some of the latest, newcomers to getting out there on YouTube and getting out there on Twitter, wherever, but namely getting their face out there even on YouTube has been the biggest hurdle for everybody. I mean, 3 years ago, Paul will go on and on about it. It's interesting that you brought up the kilt right now, because I originally 3 years ago made a video where I was wearing the kilt and I was challenging people to get on,
Thanksgiving or something,
and make a video and tell me their story of how they got into, Stephen and Brennan and their case, and what, or their story of, watching Making a Murder or whatever. And so I made that kind of plea back then. It had limited success at first. I immediately got, Paul and Mark Hodnott and Marilyn Shue Carter over on Facebook. She put up several videos after I made that video. So it was awesome. I love Marilyn. And there was somebody else whose name is escaping me. I'm so sorry. There was another one too whose name is escaping me who put up one video as well. But I loved it. It was great. And then it kind of was just there wasn't much happening for a while, obviously. This was prior to MAM2, because like I said, I made this thing 3 years ago. So then MAM2 comes out, then we start getting more people, the rubber duckies pop up. Millbilly starts becoming more pronounced, and people are following him, and he's got good stuff. And so more people started to discover some of these people that were kind of coming up and on the fringe. Then more people started, like Linda. Obviously, Linda's been doing this now for longer, obviously, than than Sharon and Jane. So she's another one who picked up that ball and ran with it, and so there's more and more people, and that's what's helping Stephen and Brennan the most, folks. The fact that the movement continues to grow, I'm very happy to see it. And I'll tell you, here's another thing, just another little observation that I thought I was really touched by. Was when I was watching Jerome and I was watching Stacy on Jerome's segment, and Stacy started talking about the community and started talking about me sending him over the clips of people singing Truth Train for that video I was putting together, and seeing him and him talking about just it was just, I was very touched by a lot of the things he was saying, and it's those are the things that allow us to keep growing and allow our voice for Steve and Brendan to continue to rise in volume to these people who don't want to hear it. And the classier we are, the more we're heard. I know it's hard. And it's particularly with everybody being frustrated with the state stalling right now. It's hard to be classy. It's hard to keep your temper, but you gotta stay classy, because if you act like a jerk, you hurt Stephen and Brennan. You give something. You give the people out there that want to silence the critics of Manitowoc and Calumet and Wisconsin. You give them something to point at and go, look at how unreasonable these people are.
Yep.
And you don't want to give them that kind of stuff to point to, folks. That's why it's important to be classy. And I'll say this again, and I've said it probably 100 times in the last 2 weeks, probably 50 times during Marathon alone. But the way you get these people, folks, you don't have to think of something nasty. You don't have to think of some threat. You don't have to think of anything like that. You don't have to shout. You don't have to scream. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is go in, find some fact that's unexplainable in the case tied to that person, and ask them in a very classy way, a question regarding that fact, and watch them squirm.
Instead of kill them with kindness,
that's all
kill them
the
with
reporter
facts.
you need.
Yep.
Is watch them squirm or not answer, or
I don't see them very often. They're disappearing or something. I don't know. And if they are around, I pay no attention.
And the more and more they disappear, the more and more I know you guys out there are all doing it right, because now they can't say, "Oh, Avery Dassey supporters are assholes." They can't just say that, because people are starting to get smarter about the way they support. That's good. That's a very good thing.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Or say we're a cult.
Well,
Still do that.
it may be, and I don't know. I'd rather say it's not. I mean, I think a lot of people discovered it making a murderer in Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey on their own, and then just kind of migrated to the community afterward because they were looking for more,
Well, the fact that we've all got our own channel shows we've got our own thoughts, so that shows we're not a cult.
There's different points of view, and not everybody agrees.
Yeah.
And I personally accept that diversity myself. I don't personally hold it against people when they have an opinion that I don't favor.
Yeah. Excuse me, I have some Kool-Aid. Are we moving?
Cactus cooler. That's what it actually looks like. It looks like cactus cooler.
No, it's a Kool-Aid. Because of the cult.
Yeah, the drinking the Kool-Aid guy.
Yeah. That's how I was saying.
Erekose, Jinx sent you something, a link or something in Discord or something, and she can't post it.
I saw her.
Okay.
I saw her message. Yeah.
Yeah. And
hey, check it right now. Is that what she means?
I think so. Nothing But a Stump is thinking about doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Wow.
You should.
Yeah.
You should get your own. You just do YouTube, get videos. Never mind the podcast.
Yeah. You don't want to do that, and that's cool. Sorry, Martha. I know you got double state things going on. This state and then that. Yeah.
I think a lot of people use that Anchor app for podcasts.
It's
streams
free.
right on to and it's streaming. You can stream it right on to.
I see what you said.
Spotify.
I thank you, Jinx. I will certainly hold on to that if I get tired of waiting for Paul to come through. But I do actually want to see if Paul's going to come through on it, because I'd rather have him playing the accordion if I had my choice. So, but no, thank you for that. That's interesting. That's brilliant. I'm also hoping that by having Paul make it, it's going to make it easier to avoid them trying to claim copyright issues. Even though I'm going to easily be able to challenge it and say it's a parody, and I'll be able to cite Supreme Court, case law that says parodies are exempt from copyright. But it'll be probably a 2 or 3 month fight where by the time I win, everybody will be over it and moved on to another thing. So, but anyways, that's the way it goes.
Nothing But a Stump was asking what I'd said. What was it for the podcast thing? It's Anchor.
Anchor, yeah.
Yeah. Anchor. I can message you later and tell you if you didn't get it.
Yeah.
But it's just on the Google Play Store or whatever, the app stores sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, don't come to me if you need a name. You'll get something funny like Sharper Than a Pencil, One Strand in a Rav, or Nothing But a Stump.
I don't know how I came up with my name all by myself.
But you know what? You are sunshine. You smile. It's just like,
oh, thanks. You are the sunshine. Yeah.
Erekose, I like your story of your name. Yours is from a character in a book, and I thought that was really interesting. Even more interesting is that my daughter knew who Erekose was and the book and everything else. So I was like, wow. Because I don't read. So
well, it's not just a book. It's Michael Moorcock. It's really a series of books, a whole bunch of books he's written where they happen in what he calls the multiverse. And so you have a bunch of these travelers that travel between the realms, and and it's interesting. But yeah, things tie together. You have Erekose is what you call it, one incarnation of the champion eternal. You also have Elric, you have Corum, and then you also have Hawkmoon, and those are the 4 main incarnations of the champion eternal. Now the reason why I like Erekose so much, and it's the reason why I chose, is Erekose is unique from the other champions. The other champions are basically, stuck in their own little worlds, where Erekose is a unique version where he gets plucked. The universe literally plucks him from one place and drops him in another where he's needed. And so he's constantly being, plucked out of where he is to be plucked down where he's needed. And he spends a lot of time resentful of it, which is funny, but he always ends up, doing what he has to do.
Is that a bit like you?
He is who he is in the end, and he can't help it.
Is that a bit like you? You get stuck into the Scott Davis, and then you get plucked into Stephen and Brendan, and you're different.
Something like that. Yeah.
But like you're not resentful of it. You're not resentful of it.
Yeah, it's and he doesn't. The thing is, Erekose doesn't either. I mean, in the stories, he eventually comes around. He always spends the first, little while in the story grumbling. He's mad at the multiverse because he's tired of being.
No, who does that sound like? Grumbling.
Like you're being clumped a lot.
How many times you heard Paul say it, man? I'm the what's the word he uses?
Well, there's quite a few, but I mean, I don't know how many of them I'm allowed to say.
What is he here? He's gonna probably say it. Captain Crunch.
Quantum Leap. Oh, I loved that show.
What would they call you? What would they call you?
I loved Quantum Leap too. That was a good one. That was a good show. Adrian, hey, how's it going?
Hey, hello, Adrian. Long time.
So, yeah, Quantum Leap was a good show. I did love that one. No,
he's not tailing us.
Gosh darn it! What's that word he used?
Egypt.
He would always say I was. Oh well, whatever. It's a Scottish word.
It'll come to you.
But
in the fly.
I'm sitting here thinking now. I'm going, what can he call him? What could they call him?
So basically, he says I'm grumpy.
There's too many words to remember.
I was walking around Australia the whole time grumpy, which goes against what all the pictures say, because all the pictures are smiling. But I don't know. Hey.
And what you said when you got back. I mean,
could be why I call him the Mad Scott. But anyway,
richer, feeling richer. You had a great time out there.
Dude. I mean, certainly better, much richer for having gone there and experienced the whole thing. It was brilliant. Even though the 15-hour plane ride,
mumping,
not my favorite part. But
even in coming back earlier,
mumping.
Yeah, so now that was fun. Because it's true, I did leave Australia on at about 11:30 a.m. on a Monday.
Oh, you went back in time.
And then but when I was arriving in LA, I was arriving at 6:20 a.m. on Monday. So I literally jumped back like
time traveler
4 hours. Yeah. So that's just because the international dateline, but
it was 24 hours for me when I went.
It was what?
24 hours
to fly there.
Yeah.
I couldn't be on, I don't know.
Yeah.
God, 24 hours on a plane. I don't know if I would be able to do that. I was going nuts. I was going nuts on that 15-hour flight. I mean, there and back. I was seriously extremely had to extreme willpower to not just grab my bag and go sprinting before anybody else could get up. I wanted to get off that damn thing. I don't like being in enclosed spaces, and I don't like sitting still for very long periods of time. It's just not my thing, not my forte. So, oh God, after 15 hours, I was hurting. So
it's a long time.
Once I was there, it was brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe someday I'll get to go to England because I'm going to go visit Jane.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, I do hope so.
I'm trying to get over to the UK as well.
I know. I want you all to. I want everyone to come.
I know. It seems weird. Sometimes I'm like, oh man, I'll just come on over. Well, how far away is it to drive? And I'm thinking, oh yeah, you can't do that, Linda. I'm go over to Wisconsin, but it would take me 5 days to get to Erekose, and you guys, well, I'd have to swim and all that other stuff. And I'm not. 20 years ago, I'd probably attempt that, but not now.
Right.
It's not that much money to fly. It's just that you got to have a lot of money.
It's not. No, it's actually it's not bad. It's not. I mean, my trips to Wisconsin actually
cost more.
They haven't. Well, no, but they haven't been as crippling as I kind of initially thought they might be before I ever went. Like I figured I was going to be, shelling out over $1,000. I think in the end, I was under, $1,000 for my trips to Wisconsin because I was literally getting the airfare for there. The round trip was like usually somewhere in the neighborhood of $480 to $500.
Oh,
right.
Wow.
And then you add 100, and then because I was only there for 2-3 days each time. So you add, about $140 for the rental car on top of that. And then the hotel, the first time I went, when I paid for the hotel, I paid $70 for the one night that I stayed there. This last time my share was, what was it? It was
$250, I think.
Yeah, 250 something. So even still, I'm still under, 1,000. So it ended up not being as bad, but I got to keep in mind, I was only going for 2 days, the first 2 trips.
Right.
So I didn't end up spending a lot of money on food and lodging and everything while I was there. That was a minimal cost. So.
No,
Just
I never know how much money to bring because you want to buy things, especially in another country. I'd be wanting to take things home, so empty bag to bring with, and how much money because I don't know the exchange rate or, I'd be dumbfounded. Just give me to the liquor store and I'll do the rest in my head. I'll just put the memories here and forget the rest. Let's have some fun. I'll make some Jello shots. We'll all have fun.
Yeah.
So, Linda, for you, is Manitowoc about an hour's drive for you?
For me, I can make it in 3.5 hours.
Oh, 3.5 hours. And what if you
4 hours
drive
just driving? Huh?
I was just going to say to Erekose, how long would it take him if he was to drive it?
To Wisconsin? Oh yeah. Well, I'll put it this way: it would take me 6 hours to drive from here to Phoenix, Arizona. And that would probably be 1/10 of the way, so probably 3 days, maybe 4 days to drive there, roughly.
Wow. Flying to Scotland.
You get there.
How long?
It's clear across the country.
Well,
it's clear across. We get one end in Wisconsin here.
In Southern California. So not only do I have to move east, but I also have to move north. So it's so.
And me, it's just next door. Yeah. But still, So I can go 5 states in 19 hours. So.
Whereas we're like 6-hour drive.
Yeah, it would take me about 6 hours to drive to Sharon.
Then do you have to take a boat?
No.
Or you just drive across? No, I don't know. I mean, I think there's water between everybody's countries. I don't know. I have no idea how that is.
No, it's all the one island. There's 3 outlying islands, but Britain and I stay as part of the same land.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't live.
I could fly. It would be quicker.
What's that?
How many hours? 5?
Yeah, I could fly. You can fly to Scotland.
Not long, isn't it?
No, that's not long at all. That's how long it would take for me to get to see Denise Rainey would be 6 hours. So yeah.
Hey, I remember in Still Game, Jack and Victor, you got a little private jet thing to fly up an island.
Yeah. There's loads of islands, lots and lots of islands.
You mean I could go to Jane's and see you then, and then see Dark Side 2 in Ireland, so I could go to all you guys?
Yeah.
Well, you need to go Ireland. You need to go over the water to Ireland.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So there is water there. Okay.
Yeah. But the mainland that we're on.
Well, that's what I would do if I was going to go to the UK. I would make sure that I could go to all the places.
Yeah. There's ferries and all that, and planes that take you to.
Well, we got ferries here, Joe. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Fine.
Anyways, so Captain Horatio Magellan Crunch here brings up something that Mr. Capaldi has been talking about he wants to do. The next time he comes for a rally or something, he actually wants to fly to where I am. here in Southern California, and he wants to rent a car, and he wants to take Route 66 all the way to
Good luck.
So
that
could be interesting. And it could be fun. You know,
that turns into 70 in Illinois, and it's it's a great road. Where it started from, in Illinois, that's because it started in Chicago or whatever. So wait till you get to that part where you think they'd really take nice care of that road. One thing you don't have to worry about: there's no cops, but the roads are blah, 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 blah. Like
rent a big RV, just going in a big RV.
Yeah.
Then you get Paul every morning.
Right.
But you drive to a lot of desert,
the way to do it, because you're obviously going to be pulling into campgrounds along the way.
Yeah.
You're going to be planning it to end up at campgrounds each night so that you can have somewhere to hang out.
Don't you cross a desert though for a while? I mean, like desolate, nothing.
When you leave California? Oh yeah. Well, first of all, LA is a desert. So I mean, you got to remember that. So Southern California is literally a desert. If it wasn't for people living in LA irrigating water in to put up all these palm trees and lawns and everything else that you see in LA, it would be a desert. That's what it would be naturally. So
just like Las Vegas. They don't have no water. They get pumped in.
And so that's just it. You start moving east and east and east, and you get into Arizona, Nevada. It's like there's a lot of desert in the Southwest, United States. You have to start getting north before you start getting like forests and that sort of stuff. Now, there are some forests. We have San Angeles Forest here in California, which is it reaches into Southern California a fair bit, but mostly California is a desert. I mean, I've got, if you guys go back and look for the earliest videos on my channel, there's one called Moto X Racer, and it's a little kid on his dirt bike. I mean, that's out at my boss's property. That's just north of LA. That's
good. Then when
it's desert.
When Paul does that, then you can have him take back some of them prosecutors and drop them along the way in the desert. I mean, I hear, some of them people in Manitowoc might want to take a trip to the desert, and make this worth it.
Just make it sound like a holiday. Go to California.
Don't need to leave no markers of where they got off. Just let them be, give them a bottle of water and say, see you later. We'll see how you do for a while.
Bottle of water with a hole in the bottom, you mean?
Yeah. Maybe only fill it this full and just put air in the rest. Somebody's got to do it, I'm not going to say.
Right. So, the next order of business, I guess we'll be talking about the fact that I will be appearing with Jane and Diane this weekend on Sunday. It'll be about 12 Pacific time, which will be 2 p.m. for you guys Central on Sunday. And what were you guys planning? Like, what was the thing you guys were looking to?
So we've got a few questions we're going to ask you.
Uh-oh.
You don't get pre-answered or questions like I did.
Like I give Amanda Knox and like I give Ricky Kidd. I know, right? No, I don't mind.
Just put you on the spot, man.
Yeah.
Do it, Jane.
You never gives me pre-questions.
If it's okay with you, we wanted you to have a talk about the event that's coming up in October.
Right.
The wrongful convictions event, which is really exciting.
Right. I'm pretty excited about it. And when I was talking to Ricky, which leads me into that topic as well. When I was talking to Ricky yesterday, I was basically letting him know why I wanted to call. Number one, to set up a little show with him, which is going to happen on Tuesday, folks. Tuesday. So that will be at 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday. That I'll be having a chat with Ricky. But as I was talking to him yesterday, I was telling him, hey, I wanted to have you on my channel. I wanted to talk about wrongful convictions and stuff. Really want to get more and more of the MAM community really taking a very strong interest in wrongful convictions, trying to get people to understand that helps them argue more effectively for Stephen and Brendan and all those things that he was like, oh, yeah, I'm on board with that. Okay, all right, and everything. He's a cool dude. Freaking love Ricky. He's a cool guy. And that's when I brought up the event for October 2nd and stuff. And I said, well, as you know, wrongful conviction day is October 2nd. And I was looking to put together a 48-hour thing that I kind of gave him the spiel. And he comes back and he goes, well, I'm going to have to give you a tentative yes on that one. He goes, and he started explaining how involved he is with the Innocence Project at this point in time. And he's going to have a lot of his own duties that weekend. So he wasn't sure, but I'm eager. I'm honestly very eager to see, what he's going to be up to that weekend. I just want to find out because he's a firecracker, man. I like him. He's got a lot of energy, bounding kind of energy. He's a really good guy. And I imagine whatever he's going to be doing that weekend, it's going to be powerful. So, I mean, it's going to be probably interesting. And then he said he didn't say no. He just said he had to give me a tentative yes because he just didn't know how things were going to shake out that weekend at this point in time. Maybe
he could record some stuff for you.
Yeah, he may still appear with me that weekend if he gets a chance.
Yeah. He works with the Midwest Innocence Project, the Midwest one. Is that
I believe it's the Midwest? Yeah.
Okay, so that's like Chicago area, Missouri, that kind of. I think it is.
Right.
I'm not
believe
sure.
So, yeah.
Okay. Does he able to? Does he get in touch with people that are exonerated like all around, or does he just deal with that? Do you know? I mean, just in that area.
From what I understand,
maybe he would.
I haven't asked him about it.
Oh yeah, good question to ask him then.
But what I understand is that he is part of like a committee or a board, I think, or whatever. He actually has responsibilities from the Midwest Innocence Project. Some of it's like he's going to be appearing at certain events that weekend, or appearing to talk that weekend, and things like that. So it's just organized by. And he did explain this. He said that you start out with the Innocence Project. The main Innocence Project, the national, basically, right? He goes, and underneath that hat, you have all the other little ones, like the Midwest Innocence Project and the, whoever else. I mean, there's all kinds of them. There's so many different little ones now. He goes, right. They all come into that hat. He goes, and so they're all going to be doing little things. They're all going to be having little things going. They're all going to, whatever. So he's just going to be having some duties according to, and like I said, Tuesday night. Bring your question to live chat, and we'll see if we can put it before him. So,
right. Why are your lights dim?
I was going to say, if your monitor going off,
your monitor, you're dark looking.
Why that is actually.
There's been power
your tan was getting better.
It must be his way of like repaying back too. You know what I mean? I mean, he gets to come out and say thank you by going out and helping spread the word, you know what I mean? And be a speaker. And it's probably his way of paying back, which is really good.
Well, I mean,
he doesn't seem bitter for 23 years.
Paying back though, does he? I mean, really, he's owed. He's owed.
Yeah, well, no, but I mean, for people caring.
You're right. Yeah, he does. He's that's what I like about him, folks, is his movement is called I Am Resilience, folks. I mean,
oh really?
Think about the definition of the word resilience. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think he chose that word very, very specifically because resilience means that you can take a beating and you can continue. You can still continue to be who you are, what you are, and that sort of thing. And that's so I love the fact that number one, he chose the word resilience, but he's about it, man. He's not just talking the talk. The dude's walking the walk, and he's just, so that's what I find impressive about him. He's engaging. I think he's going to be a powerful voice for wrongfully convicted individuals, over the next couple of years, because he's only been out for 8 months.
Yeah. He's
only been out for
years, and he's got such a good attitude. I mean, wow. I mean, I don't think I'd be like that. I think I would be like, what? I mean, I just don't think I would be like that, but I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing who I am.
That's just what I was going to say. But don't you find with all these exonerees, or quite a few of the ones they're all so positive. And I think, I mean, I can't say how I would feel, but I would have so much resentment, bitterness, and they are all just so positive, and that's why they inspire me so much, because just when you hear them talk and they tell you all about what they've been through. And it just astounds me.
They've had to have hope. Obviously, they've had to have hope,
Because you can imagine that after 23 years, I mean, we've seen this with Brendan and Stephen, the knockback you get through going through the appeal system, because it's knockback after knockback after knockback, until, you know, in the end, you know, so do they have hope? You know,
they have to have something.
Well, they have
inner strength.
Yeah. And that's the same with Brendan.
They're not going to lay down and take what they were given because it's not them, you know.
Well
Look
said,
at T1.
Even though you never say anything, well said.
Yeah,
he says a lot of things. Well, you know, he texts a lot of things. You're coming on my show too, T1. Now, if I can get one's people first, you're going to be next. I'll tell you what. Well, you can keep the ball gag on. You don't even have to say nothing. I'll give you a typewriter, but just show your face. Just for being the first, you know, because Linda's known to be the first. So, you know, happy Mother's Day to you too, Adrian.
See, we celebrate it on a different
Adrian and all the mothers out there.
Yeah. You guys just had your Mother's Day, didn't you? And
no,
that was okay. That was somebody else. That was another country.
We have Jane here, you know, right here. Mums of TikTok here. So
mums
hashtag.
Mums of TikTok.
Yeah. I didn't come up with that. That's already.
It's like.
Yeah.
I love it.
They're already, but you fill the boots.
Yeah, that's I always make sure I put that hashtag in because.
Yeah. Your Grease 2 one was really good.
Oh, do you know what? That was one of my favourites. That one.
You could see it. You could see it.
Because I love the film and I love that song out the film, and then as soon as I saw it, and because you'll go through and you'll see some and you'll think, oh, I really want to do that one.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw you had one today. I had to do the Beatles, and you were
yes.
Guns N' Roses t-shirt.
Yeah, I love the Beatles.
Yeah, my nephew's always trying to get me to do them.
First things as well that I noticed when I started watching Erekose, he had these Abbey Road in the background there.
Yep.
I
know I'm going to like this man.
So. I figured I had
by that
Doors, my official Hollywood Bowl Doors poster. So I was over at the swap meet at a little thing where they sold a bunch of different musician pictures, and I was like, yeah, the iconic Abbey Road, that's the one I want.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yes, Martha. Positively Brendan.
The what?
I have the Abbey Road on the backdrop of that video. The TikTok
video. There you go. Right. Oh yeah, I did see that. It was behind you. Yeah. So you're already playing with your green screen. There you go. You
never had any of that stuff. You never had a studio when I started watching you. It was your partition behind you.
Yeah.
Your old computer with the sound.
Yeah, that thing right there.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm pointing at it like you guys can see what I'm pointing at. But his little Chinese screen, and he was sitting there and he had the bookcase with the CDs and stuff on it. Yeah, I know. Oh. I remember that. There were some oldies. Yeah. Look at how far you've come. I mean, and look at how many people have sprouted off from you. You know what I mean? Really?
Well, and that's what it's like I said, that was what Stacy was talking about with Jerome when I was watching that segment. It was just, I was so touched watching them two talk about it. I was like, wow. Because I even watched it a second time because I went through to pull it for Jerome so that he could upload it, you know, his segment with Stacy all by itself. And so that I was going back through it to get that, and oh, dude, this fly is a stupid idiot.
Go on, get your fly swat.
Anyways,
the fly ones, yeah.
So, but yeah. So, anyways, but moving on. So, somebody just distracted me there with something, so I gotta deal with that after this. But so one thing that's coming up here obviously is I was talking about the fact that I was pulling the segment for Jerome to upload. I pulled another segment from Linda's Mammothon for her to upload, and I really think it's an interesting one. I really like it because what J-Jax kind of dug up there was very interesting, and it's all regarding, you know, whether or not cameras were allowed in the jail or not. and it all comes back to a video Kratz made that has been deleted, but fortunately there was a savvy supporter out there who had downloaded them all first and put them right back up, and so you can still find them. But there's that video that Kratz made, and where he's calling that, saying that Jerry Buting is because he's, you know, helping the filmmakers essentially get some footage of Steven, you know, or whatever it is, right? Well, then he's going through in that segment showing how pretty much any reporter and their uncle was just walking right up to the jail with a freaking little piece of paper asking if, you know, for them to give to Steve, asking for an interview. And then it was like they were allowed in with cameramen and everything. There was like, you know, so acting as if there was some taboo about cameras, I think is just like ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, and so I thought it was a very interesting segment. So she'll be uploading that for tomorrow morning, folks. She's going to schedule that for tomorrow morning.
My first premiere.
Yeah. So
I never did it before.
So yeah, Sharon's going to show her how to do that, and
yeah, if you need my help, I'm the IT department on Jen.
Yeah. IT worker. Yep.
Well, I helped Jerome as well. I had to send him videos of how to do stuff, and then I was in it for Jay, and I was like, you do this. I was like videoing my screen with my phone, going, you press this. And you
Right.
Oh dear. But it worked. It worked.
Yeah.
I think I know how to do it now, but I just don't know how to put like a video in front of it or something. You know, I'll learn that.
Well, yeah,
you know?
You don't have a way of editing, unfortunately, but
I do. I just got some editing software. So
okay, so then now you will be able to. So in that software, you'll be able to drag in, like, say, the file I sent you, and then in that software, you'll have a thing where you'll be able to choose to record from your camera, so that you can sit there and do like an introduction for it.
Cool, because
if you have editing software that's worth a damn, it should give you the ability to, so
I got Filmora, so I guess that's pretty good.
If it allows you to record yourself on camera, then you'll be able to insert those bits before and after, or even break it in the middle or whatever. So that's what the editing software allows you to do. And then when you go to upload to YouTube, you're just gonna, when you get to the last step, you know, the last step is saying, you know, do you want it instant? You know, do you want to just instant?
Well, since you're the leader, you should make some videos of how to do this, so that your followers and your tree branches that are branching off of the oak tree here can learn how to do the stuff you do.
You've done loads. He's done loads of videos helping everybody how to get onto Discord and Hangouts and everything.
Yeah, I mean,
he always does it. He always does it.
Yes, I'm just saying. You know, I mean,
he wants everyone else to branch off.
You know what I'm saying? You can give them shoes, but you still got to tell them how to use it.
Right.
So
the last topic that we're going to be talking about today is, obviously, folks, Linda is going to be going live in a little while after this, pretty much about an hour from now. You know, so I want to encourage everybody to head over there for that. It's having to do with I'll let her talk about it.
I'm really excited about it. Yeah, it's I was making sure I wasn't muted before I started talking, because I do that all the time. But yeah, I'm really excited. I got Becca Nash, who is, everybody knows, she's a great big supporter of Brendan. She does the Be Brendan Brave every Monday. She gets all this stuff together, and I've heard from other people that what she does is not easy, because they've tried to do it for her while she was on vacay. So she does a lot for Brendan. She really, really supports Brendan a lot. She would do just about anything for him. And I mean, most of us feel that way. So I thought it'd be a really good idea that, since there's really no action in Brendan's case, and all we can do is keep pushing that governor, well, let's start doing it on YouTube. Let's start giving everybody the tools to do so. So every week we'll be announcing how you can do that. And they'll always be in the description, how you can write to him, how you can write to the governor, how you can get with Tracy Keogh. And then she'll tell you the next campaign for the following Monday. And then maybe, because she emails them, there might be some messages. I'm not going to give nothing away. So there's some things that are happening. And I think everybody just needs to talk about Brendan a lot too. I mean, nobody really talks about Brendan. And Brendan, face it, Brendan really is a lot of our reasons for being here. You know, it is for me. I know it is for Erekose. I know it is for Jane. I know it is, you know, everybody I look at, you know, they're interested in Steven's case because it's an ongoing thing. They can do something with it, which is great. I think it's wonderful. But Brendan is in a stagnant place right now. And we all know it's not, you know, all I have is hope, prayers, and just keep talking. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm looking forward to it. So it's going to be every Friday at 6 o'clock Central. And because she's 4 o'clock Arizona, whatever time that is. I think it's Erekose time. I don't know. But yeah, so every Friday we're going to do that. And I'm really looking forward to it. Tonight is our first night. So got some surprises. Come on over.
I'm really looking forward to it. And I was just saying to you guys before about, I don't know if anybody saw on Facebook about what he sent Barb for Mother's Day. He's just such a sweetheart. And she posted it all on Facebook. And a lovely bunch of flowers and chocolates. And he'd written like a crossword about all the things he loves about his mom, and, you know, just thanking, it's beautiful. He's so
our
happy.
Inspiration.
He is. I mean,
he keeps me going.
I just want to hug him.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. That's how I felt when I met his mom. I was like, I was overwhelmed. I was really very, very overwhelmed by that. You know, and it's something that will last forever with me, because I felt like I was hugging Brendan too. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I'm not going to talk the case with his mother because she lives it, and I would never do that. I think that'd be rude. But, you know, what's this? Oh, yeah. You know, I like that picture. That's from Susan Sexton, right? Yep.
So this is my tweet, folks. And if you guys want to head over there after this, if you haven't already gone over to like it, it has gotten a hell of a response already.
I believe
that. But this was what I sent to Governor Evers. I included this picture with it. You see here. This was created by Susan Sexton.
Acme
back brace. Right, exactly. Got Fassbender here, right? Pushing up on the, you know,
the ass end of it.
Here, pushing up on the belly of the, trying to keep it
back.
Puddle of sweat over here underneath Kratz. Sweaty. Shady over here. Shady.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
So that's this. She put a lot of meaning into this little picture. It's really, really good.
There's this case of Brendan Dancy. Oh wow.
Yeah, I gave her the rough idea for it, and she ran with it, and she killed it.
Oh Lord,
nailed it.
Great job, Susan.
So that's what I sent over to Governor Evers. So if anybody out there that hasn't gone over and liked and retweeted this sucker, if you want to go over and do that, please.
I have.
You know,
I'm just looking. Is it?
And if you add something onto it, it gets more tweets too, because
so if you
click on yours, and then it'll click
retweet with comment, retweet with comment.
If you make a comment, tweet with comment, because it gets more and more and more and more.
And one of my new favorite hashtags. Hashtag we are not going
away. Oh, that's a good one.
We're not going away. Yep. And my favorite hashtag is positively Brendan.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. So that's what we want to know. We just want these guys to know that they're
not going
to. I want them to see that the numbers keep rising, that they're having to deal with more people talking about it than less. And I want them to keep seeing that happen. And so that's what we do out here in the public, while the lawyers are in there putting the pressure on in the ways that they do, in the ways that they're able to, legally and all that. So I mean, that's, you know, everybody does their part. And like I say, you know, there's those of us who are getting out here and getting vocal on YouTube, and that's good, because it gives all of you guys a place to go to talk and continue to convene together to talk about your interest in these cases, and to continue to draw attention and awareness to Stephen and Brennan. But hopefully moving forward, folks, I'm gonna be able to show you with guests like Amanda Knox and Ricky Kidd and others. I'm hoping to get. I'm really hoping to get Valentino Dixon. We follow each other on Twitter, but I'm having trouble initiating a conversation with them at the moment. So, but I am very much looking to get Valentino on at some point. Would love to get Devontae Sanford at some point, but I know he's kind of dealing with something right now, because Kim Worthy is trying to come up with some BS to try to claim she got that thing right in the first place, which is a joke. So he may not be able to talk right now if he's got pending court case that may be happening. So I may have to wait for Devontae, but I really would eventually at some point. So we need to take an interest beyond Stephen Brennan, not asking you to dive in like you did with Stephen Brennan and become as well versed as you did with Stephen Brennan, but to take a little, tiptoe through the waters of these other wrongful convictions and get some awareness of the same things that happen over and over again that cause these things to happen. It informs your argument. So when you are arguing passionately for Avery Dassey, you will have information in your cadre that you will be able to use to effectively reinforce yourself. So when somebody tries to say something like, oh, you don't really believe a cop would have gone in there and grabbed that thing from that drawer and taken it over and put it, then you can say, well, it's funny because a cop did almost exactly that in New Jersey and whatever in the Carney case. You know what I mean? And that person was trying to make you look ridiculous. And you have now turned the tables on them because you had knowledge of where something like that has happened and it's been proven. You see, that's why it's important, and that's why it makes you more effective in arguing for Avery Dassey. So that's why I hope everybody takes it serious. It's especially me, as I intend to be interviewing a lot of wrongfully convicted people in the coming months. So hopefully everybody will be there with me to learn what these brilliant people are going to be there to teach us.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know what they can do, but all you have to do is open up your Google and type in your state and put wrongful convictions or Innocence Project, and there you go. That's a start. That's how you can do it. Because I didn't know how to do it, and I did that, and I was like, oh, well, I don't have none right now in Minnesota, but still, I know, what the Innocence Project is here, and you can be in touch with them and get on their website, and, you can help out locally, and, or you can reach out and on Twitter and all that and get on the board with other people's who they're saying too,
Because Jane and I were going to look and see about the UK, what's going on with that as well, weren't we? We were going to have a look into that.
Well, what I was just going to say is, following on from what Erekose was saying about bringing other wrongful convictions in, me and Di, that's absolutely what we, obviously our focus is still on Stephen and Brendan, but the more awareness we can raise with other wrongful convictions as well is really important to us. And we are wanting to look, and it'd be good for you to do this with us as well, Sharon, with you being in the UK as well, because I just think we don't really hear, we always talk about, we don't really hear about as many wrongful conviction cases. And again, what Erekose was just saying about the key and cops planting a key, before any of this, I would have been like, surely not that one. But now, to me, it's more like, well, they would.
Exactly.
And then you also don't get FOIAs, so you were shocked about that, and so I think that'll be a driven thing for you.
Yeah, and these are the types of things that me, myself, and Di are going to be looking at and talking about in the UK as well, because it's just really important to us.
Like Luke Mitchell, somebody just said,
absolutely,
Well, Luke Mitchell's like Brendan, right? I mean, he was a young kid that, and he's
15, 14 when the girlfriend.
I can't really remember, but I was looking into it a lot. I had some stuff on my channel about him, and it was kind of interesting. So so they're everywhere. But I know Jane was really, really shocked when she found out that she can't get information like she can here in the USA. And I know that really put a fire under her. She's like, okay, well, we're gonna, so I'm looking forward to seeing what you get done there.
I think a select few people can, if you've got the right job title and the right reasons for it. I think it's, but it's not the same as just an ordinary person.
And doesn't that make you just think, well, that's worse, because what are they trying to hide? What don't they want you to know? It's even more intriguing because. At least in the USA, we can FOIA the documents. We can find out. We can, look into. Well, not me personally, but the researchers that do that. I'm saying it like I do it all the time, which what the researchers that do. I mean, how would everyone have found anything out that we've been, you know, they've found out since. So,
see, that's one of the things that's the most tragic, I think, is the fact about, obviously, Stephen Braden's tragic as well, but what I mean is, with Luke's case, it's like nobody is seeing that stuff, so nobody's getting enraged about it, no one's getting...
No.
You know, and it's Sanderlin, she's been doing it herself for free for all these years. She's worked for free. She's not taking a penny for it.
What an amazing lady.
Yeah, really, really.
Because he's run out of all his legal aid, all his, you know, all the money's run out.
Like,
you know, when I heard that,
yeah.
I'm sorry, James.
No, it's okay. I'm just saying, Sharon was just...
I just thought, here we are, we can get all this information and we can find it out, and there's still so many of them. So I was like, you guys can't find that out. I wonder how many there really are. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just where my head went. It was like, well, maybe their system isn't so good because their people don't know if they, you know,
well,
the judges made a bad decision.
Another thing that I was told as well is by a few people, I wouldn't disclose who they are, but quite often there's sort of conditions where you're not allowed to disclose things if you are released, if you've been wrongfully convicted in the UK. As part of your sort of like disclosure, you know, your non-disclosure type thing. So, I mean, they're keeping it.
So you're not allowed to talk about it.
We're all in the open and look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
Concerning. That's really
the like of Ricky Kidd and the Jason Strongs and the Amanda Knoxes who can all, and the Ryan Ferguson can all come out and talk about it.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to in the UK, and they've got that's outrageous.
Not for all of them, all of them, but there's some that, you know,
Well, that'll be all the ones where there was wrongdoing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, where they're trying to hide their dirt.
Yeah.
You know, I never even heard about. I mean, I've heard of Amanda Knox, but I have to be really honest. I never even knew the case, and I just watched it.
Have you watched it?
Yeah, like three days ago or something. I watched it, and wow, that's all I could say is wow.
Yeah.
Did that detective have it out for her, boy? I mean, just to assume because she was, you know, she's an American, she doesn't. There's different. That's where it shows you the different cultures.
Yeah, well, that was Italy,
create
wasn't it?
Issues for you. You got to watch what you do in public because, I mean, I was like, ooh.
The press ridiculed her.
Very shocking.
Yeah,
very shocking.
It was.
And then, of course, Mr. Stephen Moore, he had a lot to do with that case. And that is a man that is he is such a reputable man. I mean, just so much integrity. If he could change or train all the LE in the United States, all law enforcement things, and they had to go by his rules, we wouldn't have to worry about it.
No, we
really wouldn't. He has so much integrity.
It's like one of those things. What would Steve Moore do? You know?
Yeah.
it's like often I'll say, like, what would Judge Judy do? You know how, like, it's like, you know, she's like, would put up with any nonsense. You know, it's like,
I say that. I do. I watch him I see him on so many shows, and he's really young, but he's funny. But boys, he's so smart.
Yeah.
And he stands for the right things. My favorite interviews ever have been Erekose and Steve Moore, both of them. I just absolutely learned so much from him in just a short time.
A lot of it is in the book, because obviously she's not allowed to show anyone documents and stuff like that, but she's able to document it in the book in a way that was legal for her to do so. Yeah.
Without her getting sued.
But I mean, there's a video on Dr. Sanderlin's YouTube channel, and it's like a wall. It's like maybe about 5 foot high and maybe about, 8 foot wide. Big space full of documents, floor to ceiling, basically, near enough.
Oh, wow.
She's got it all at her, wherever she's keeping it.
Is there a chance
quiet,
Is there a chance for Luke to get out, or is he basically went through all of
things in the pipeline. There's things in the pipeline that wasn't really allowed to discuss, and that was fine. I said that to her. That's fine, and obviously fingers crossed for anything that's going on.
We don't want to say anything
won't,
not, because I would hate to see something go wrong for somebody that just was.
But it's basically like it'd be a shot in the dark if,
Well, kind of like Brendan right now at this point.
The thing is, it's the same as Stephen with the A5 case. Luke won't admit to it. He's got 20 years in jail and he will not admit to it. So he will not get out, even after the 20 years, because he will just not admit to it.
Meaning they'll keep him after 20 years? They can
he won't admit to it. They can only let him out if he does certain courses to be eligible for parole. And if he's not doing the courses and not admitting it, you know.
I don't think they should have that admittance thing on there because it makes people that never did anything say they did something. It's kind of like the Albert law or the Albert plea or even plea deals. They're a really bad thing. Everybody says, okay, well, that's good too. No, they're not, because you make a plea deal and then go try to appeal it once. See what happens.
You're stuck. Yeah.
Okay, you're stuck.
There's two sides to every coin. So, you know what I mean? But I agree with you, first of all. I agree with you that the justice, I think, with plea deals is imperfect. But the reason they exist is because they actually allow our justice system to move under each weight. So, there's that side of it. It's sticky. I'd
rather see that than EDPA.
I think it's important, right? No, but I think it's important to point that out. Well, because EDPA has the same kind of problem, right? Where it's trying to keep the court system from getting clogged, but it's gone too far. It's gone way overboard. And it shouldn't be robbing every single American, and it certainly shouldn't be robbing kids like Brendan and other kids like him.
Right.
That's just still baffles me now.
I think they need to come up with a whole justice system just for juveniles. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, just for people that are under 21 and under. I really do. Yeah. I know that 18, but you're not mature at 18. You're not even mature at 21, but you're still able to do everything legally in the United States. So, I think they should have a completely separate justice system for them and a different way of looking at it, because they're dealing with children and who are, either just want to help like Brendan or are just not sure what they're doing. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a very, they need to be guided. And in the adult system, you can't get that guidance. It's your innocence and them proving you're guilty. But no, it's you guilty and you trying to prove your innocence. Yep. So it's, you know what I mean? It's just terrible.
Whereas in the UK, it's like 16, you're allowed to have relationships and you're allowed to be married and, but you can't vote till you're 18 and you can drink and stuff like that. But some places it's 21 for going in to get drink, alcohol and stuff like that. Some places.
And strangle my
daughter.
So
it's all different. So, so in terms of Luke was 15, so he was still underage. He was still under that, even though it's close to that 16 sort of benchmark. 14 at the time of the crime. And that he didn't commit, but 14 at the time that Jodie was murdered, and 15 at the time of the court case. So he was still a young boy.
So, folks, this is another tweet I made today. Actually, the tweet I made is here. But anyway, so what this is about is Larry Elder here, folks, is talking about recently the Supreme Court was convening for a conference call thing, whatever. Judge Sotomayor, I guess, forgot to hit mute on her mic on her computer, and she had a wireless microphone, I guess, and forgot to hit mute or whatever, and went to the bathroom and ended up having the flushing of her toilet come through on the call. So So this is what's getting talked about and all that, right? It's just, whatever. So I came in, I couldn't help it. I figured this is a good chance because obviously Larry Elder has a lot of followers. And so I figured, okay, here we go. So I came in and said the toilet flush was a reaction to SCOTUS and their interpretation of AEDPA. Their failure to grant cert for Brendan Dassey. 6 amicus briefs at the cert stage. That's how much people are outraged by Brendan. Oh, a toilet flushed in the ivory towers. Well, I never. Ridiculous.
Now, Jane, you go on and add on to that. So it gets around, because that's good. That's good, Erekose. That is good.
Yeah.
What a good way to...
Erekose.
We'll retweet that with our flags.
Yes.
Sorry.
I was going to say, someone just said something. Can I just answer back to it?
Go ahead.
Glenn, he was told not to show any emotion because it was going to go against him in his court case, or afterwards he was told not to show any emotion at all. because he said Luke's lack of emotion hasn't helped his cause, but he was warned not to show any emotion either way, because they would use like crocodile tears or don't care. Yeah. So he was warned not to.
Right.
I don't know if that, still seen that there. I thought,
was this by his defense team?
Yeah, told not to.
Wow.
And then they use that against him and say he didn't have any emotion.
Of course.
Because they said they would just say it was crocodile tears, so.
Right.
You can't win.
Right. No. Yeah, I know. It's not fair. I mean, when both sides are lying, it's ridiculous for the courts to take such a favorable attitude towards either side, honestly, towards either side. But it's pretty clear that the prosecution in most courts gets some juice, gets some leeway, gets away with more. And that needs to stop because both sides are telling lies. Yeah. You can't have both sides telling lies and try to claim that one's held to some higher standard.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of BS. So, all right, well, we're at the hour mark. Linda's got a live of her own that's going to be starting here in about 38 minutes. So she probably needs to go and start getting ready for her. So I want to thank you ladies for being here today. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And, make sure everybody go over and check out Linda's live tonight. It should be interesting.
Yes,
you guys know I'm always there.
Positive about Brendan. Positively Brendan.
I love that.
Brendan. So, I basically have decided that, well, at least I figured out at this point that I was all in for Brendan from the beginning, but it just took a while for my conscious mind to catch up with my subconscious mind. So anyways, but I only say that because it took me a while to get on YouTube and get vocal about the cases and stuff.
Mm-hmm. But look at you. Look at what you created.
And I'm glad to see it. It fills me up, and it's like I said when I saw Stacy commenting on it and everything during Jerome's segment, I was touched. It was just like so it's something special, but it's like I say, do it for Stephen and Brendan because the more it grows, the better it is for them, folks. I mean,
I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for you.
I'm just the sideshow on the route to the destination. So,
sideshow Bob.
Yeah, I'm that little shack, that you're driving down the desert going to see Manitowoc. I'm the little shack. Come and see. That's me too.
I actually was looking at something I wrote. It was a memory on Facebook the other day, and I saw that came up, and it said, I didn't share it, but it said something like I had written about 2 years ago. It makes sense why people are afraid to go to Manitowoc or that area of Wisconsin. Because a lot of people in the world have a severe fear of clowns. It was something along those lines.
There are people that freak by clowns.
Oh,
what's up, puppy?
Yep, she was barking. She's gonna bark. I don't want her to bark, so I gotta hold her.
All right. Well, okay, guys, get ready to head over to Linda's live coming up here in about 35 minutes or so. Hope to see you guys there. Thank you, ladies, for being here. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me.
James and Diane, I will see you on Sunday.
Night,
Everybody check out Sharon tomorrow. By the way, Sharon's going to be having an interesting discussion over on her channel tomorrow with somebody who is going to be a little bit about the Ted Bundy case, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
Linda, remember the big book, the big encyclopedia book? Yeah, he's one of the contributors to that. So.
Yep, folks.
He's a researcher.
I'm looking forward to that.
Folks. So,
me too.
Right. Okay, if you haven't already, please hit subscribe, and we'll see you.